Hello student. So today we're going to solve pair of linear equations by graphical method. So as you can see, I've taken pair of linear equation x minus 2y is equal to 8 and 2x plus 3y is equal to 2. Okay. Usually graphical method is very easy, and for state board students, this question, that is solved graphically, is a compulsory question for 4 marks. Okay. It's a compulsory question that you'll get for 4 marks, and this question will also be a very easy question. But in this video, we're going to also solve some difficult problems also. Okay. But for the exam, you will definitely get a question from this, and which will be a very easy one. Okay. So let's solve pair of linear equations using graphical method. So the first step is to take any one of the equation. Let's take the first one itself. X minus 2y is equal to 8. Remember, in the substitution method, we were solving for x, isn't it? So what is solve for x? Keeping x in the LHS, sending all other things to the RHS, isn't it? The same thing we want to do here, but a small modification. We are not going to solve for x always. Remember, you have to solve for that variable whose coefficient is 1. Okay. Here, if you observe, x coefficient is 1. Therefore, I'm going to solve for x here. Suppose a question is like this. Let's say 3x plus y is equal to 8. Here x coefficient is 3, but y coefficient is 1. It might be plus 1 or minus 1. Let's not worry about it. Let's take minus itself here. Either it should be plus 1 or minus 1. No problem. Okay. Here I'm going to solve for y. In the sense, I'm going to keep this y in the LHS. Rest of the things I'm going to send it to the other side. Okay. So that is the small modification. So remember, you have to solve for that variable whose coefficient is 1. So in the first equation, coefficient of x is 1. So I'm going to solve for x. That is, keep x. We don't want the minus 2y, send it the other side. So it will become 8 plus 2y. Now, after this, what we are going to do is, we have to find points to plot, isn't it? So since we are solving this by graphical method, we need points, isn't it? X comma y, the points. So what we are going to do is, we are going to give values to y, any values to y, and correspondingly we're going to find the values of x. Okay. So the best way to choose a value is give 0 and a positive value and a negative value. This pattern will give you a very good graph and very good result. So I'm going to give 0 first. When y is equal to 0. So let's see what happens when y is equal to 0. X is what? 8 plus 2y. So in place of y, we have to put, in place of y, we have to put 0. So 8 plus 2 into 0 is 0. So 8 plus 0 is 8. Okay. So x value is 8. Okay. Similarly, let's give 2 more values. So next value that I'm going to give is a positive value. Let me give a positive value. Let me draw a line. Now let me give a positive value. When y is equal to 2, let me give it as 2. Therefore, x will become 8 plus 2y. In place of y, we have to put the value. So 8 plus 2 into 2 is 4. So 8 plus 4 is 12. So x value is 12. Okay. So when y is 2, you can also give 1, no issues. Okay. But here I have given the value as 2. Let me give minus 2 also. Okay. When y is equal to, when y is equal to minus 2, x is 8 plus 2 into minus 2. So it will become x 8 plus into minus is minus 2, 2s are 4. So 8 minus 4 is 4. So we'll get the value of x as 4. Okay. So we have given 3 values of y, and correspondingly we got the 3 values of x. Okay. So this is regarding the first equation. We have to do the exact procedure for the second equation. Similarly, let's take the second equation. 2x plus 3y is equal to 2. Let me draw a line. So 2x plus 3y is equal to 2. Here, the coefficient of x is 2 and the coefficient of y is 3. So here, both the variables coefficients are not 1. What did we say in the previous equation? Whichever coefficient, whichever variable coefficient is 1 or plus 1 or minus 1, solve for that variable, isn't it? But here, the x coefficient is also not 1, y coefficient isn't 1. So both the variables coefficients are not 1. So in this case, let's solve for x itself, like what we did in the substitution method, the same type. 2x is equal to 2. We don't need the plus 3y, so send it the other side. So it will become minus 3y. And we also don't need the 2, transpose it. So it will become 2 minus 3y divided by 2. Okay. So we have solved for x. Here what we are going to do is, the same logic, we are going to give values to y and find the values of x. But here, unlike the previous equation, we cannot give the values whichever we like. Okay, here we have to give a certain values. Okay, so that the graph, plotting of graph will be very, very easy. Okay, it's not that we cannot give any values. We can give any values for y that we wish for, but the plotting of graph will become bit difficult. So to make the graph very, very easy, so what we're going to do is we're going to select the values of y. So you have to choose the value of y in such a way that the answer that you get in the numerator after substituting the value of y, the answer that you get in the numerator should be divisible by the denominator, that is 2. Okay, for example, let me give you a small example. Let's say you are giving 0. Okay, now after giving 0, simplify. 2 minus 3 zeros are 0. So 2 minus 0 is 2. So the answer that you got, if you observe, it is divisible by 2. You can cancel it, isn't it? Therefore, you can give 0. That is correct. But suppose instead of 0, if you had given 1, what is the answer that we get? 2 minus 3 into 1 is 3 divided by 2. 2 minus 3 is minus 1. Is this minus 1 divisible by 2? Can you divide 1 by 2? No, isn't it? Because we don't get remainder as 0. So therefore, we are not supposed to give 1. Okay. Or suppose, let's say minus 1. If you had given y as minus 1, so what do we get? 2 minus and minus is plus, 3 ones are 3 divided by 2. 2 plus 3 is 5, 5 by 2. Can you divide 5 by 2? No. 5 is not divisible by 2. If you divide 5 by 2, what do we get? We get remainder as 1. We don't get remainder as 0, isn't it? So 5 is not divisible by 2. Therefore, we are not supposed to give minus 1. I hope the idea is clear. So you have to choose the value of y in such a way that the answer that you get in the numerator should be divisible by the denominator. Here the denominator is 2. Therefore, it should be divisible by 2. As you know, we can give 0. So when y is equal to 0, so what does x become? 2 minus 3 into 0 divided by 2. 2 minus 3 zeros are 0 divided by 2. Let me drag a bit down. I'm sorry. Yeah. So x is equal to 2 minus 0 is 2. 2 by 2. Therefore, x value will become 1. Okay. We got the value of x. Now let's two more values for y. That's what we have to do. Let's find two more values for y. As you know, we cannot give 1 and minus 1. Go in an order. First check for 0. Then 1 and minus 1 is also not possible. Now let's check for 2. Okay. When y is equal to 2. Is it possible? Let's check. X is equal to 2 minus 3 into 2 divided by 2. Okay. Do not cancel this 2 and this 2. Okay. It's not correct because in the numerator there are two terms. Okay. So you have to simplify the numerator first. 2 minus 3 2s are 6 by 2. So 2 minus 6 is minus 4. Minus 4 is divisible by 2. Isn't it? 2 ones are, 2 twos are. Therefore, x is equal to minus 2. We got the value. Let's find one more. Let's check with minus 2. -2 is not, -2 is possible. Okay, so when y is equal to -2, so x will become 2 minus 3 into -2 divided by 2. So 2 minus into minus is plus, 3 2s are 6 divided by 2. 2 plus 6 is 8. 8 by 2 is 4. So we got the three values. Okay. So once we get three values, what we are going to do is, uh, let's make a table out of this. Okay. Let's make a table. Let's insert a table. Okay. Let me insert here. Okay. Let me enlarge a bit. Okay. So x value corresponding y value. So in the first equation, if you observe, what are the x value and y value for the first equation that we have got? When y was 0, x was 8. Okay. So when y was 0, x was 8. When y was 0, x was 8. And when y was -2, x was 4. And when y was 2, x was 12. Okay. This is what we've got. It's better, let me make a big table itself. Let me make a manual table itself. So let's do it like this. So x value, y value. So x value was 8 when y value was 0, and it was 12 when y value is 2, and it is 4 when y value is -2. So this is a table which we are going to use to plot the graph. Okay. Similarly, let's make another table for the second equation, x value, y value. X value was 1 when y value was 0, and x value was -2 when y value was 2, and it was 4 when y value was -2. Okay. These are the values, isn't it, that we have got? So let's make a table out of this. And let's recall what we have done. It's very simple. What we have done here is, we took the first equation, solved for x, because x coefficient is 1. Then you will get three values of y and three values of x. Similarly, we took the second equation, we solved for x again, and we gave three values for y, and we found three values of x. That's what we have done. Okay. Now what we'll do is, let's plot a graph for this. Let's plot a graph for this. Okay. Let me draw a graph. I've already drawn it, but let me draw the graph again. So let me draw like this. Yeah, that'll be fine. So here, as you can see, this will be my x-axis, and capital Y, y dash, x dash. Okay. Now, so let's plot the graph. First, the basic step is the scale. Okay. So one box, let's take x-axis. One box has 1 unit. X-axis, one box or 1 centimeter is equal to 1 unit. Okay. Similarly, y-axis, one box is equal to 1 unit. Therefore, the values will become, if this is 0, this will become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. I guess we have x values up to 12. So let's plot up to 12. Okay. Let me extend a bit. 10, 11, 12. 10, 11, 12. Okay, this is x. And suppose you don't have so much space in the graph sheet, you can change, okay, the scale. One box, you can take it as 2 unit. If you take it as 2 unit, then this will become 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, and so on. Okay, you can do it like that. It's your wish. You can choose the scale however you want. Okay, similarly y-axis will become 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the graph that I'm doing is a rough one. So let me write everything: -2, -3, -4, -5, -6, and so on. Okay, so let's plot for this now. Let's look into the two boxes that we have created. Let me get those here itself. Okay, let me bring them down. Yeah, now I guess you can see it. Okay, yeah, let me. Okay, so as you can see in the first box, when x is 8, y is 0. So in the x, you have to select where is 8. Let me choose a different color. Let me take red. So x is here 8 and y is 0, which means you should not move anywhere. So x is 8. So plot it here itself. So this is 8. Okay. Then when x is 12, y is 2. When x is 12, 12 is here, y is 2. So 2 in the sense you have to move upwards 2 boxes. So you'll get 2 somewhere here. Okay, I hope everyone knows how to plot. So remember, where is your 12 in x? Find it. Then y is 2, which means you have to go above. Okay, so 2 boxes above. So it is 2. And x is 4, y is -2. When x is 4, 4 is here, -2. See, I'll draw it very lightly. -2 will come somewhere here, isn't it? So -2 will be here. Okay. So what you're gonna do is connect all this 3 points. Okay, connect this 3 points using a straight line. So let me connect them using a straight line, something like this. Okay, so as you know that I'm drawing a rough figure. Okay, you will get something like this. Let me draw it properly. So a straight line like this. Anyhow, you can connect all the three. Okay, this is the first one. So similarly, let's plot the next one. Let me choose a different color for that. Okay, so let's see the second box. When x is 1, y is 0. So when x is 1, y is 0. In the sense you need not move anywhere. This will be your point. And when x is -2, y is 2. X is -2, y is 2. Somewhere here. X is -2 here. Y -2, you will get somewhere here. Okay. And when x is 4, y is 2. When x is 4, y is 2. When x is 4, y is -2, isn't it? So somewhere here. So you will get -2 on this red itself. Okay, on this red line itself, you will get it. Okay, now let me connect all these 3 points using a straight line. Okay, you will get something like this. The graph would look something like this. Okay, now as you can see, both the lines are meeting at a point, that is this point. Okay, that point will be our solution. That is, if you observe, the x value will be 4, and correspondingly, if you observe, the y value is -2. Therefore the answer is x equal to 4 and y is equal to -2. Wherever the two graphs meet, the red line and the green line which we have drawn, wherever they meet, that is the answer. Okay, so x is equal to 4, y is equal to -2 will be the answer. I hope you have understood this. A very easy one. So let's take one more question and understand how to plot it. Okay, so let's take one more question. Okay, as you can see, I've already taken one question here. Okay, and let me explain this question. So the equation 3x plus 2y is equal to 4, 2x minus 3y is equal to 7. As you can see, I have taken the first equation here, 3x plus 2y is equal to 4. In the next step, I have sent 2y to the other side, so it will become minus 2y, isn't it? 4 minus 2y. Then I want x, I don't want this 3, so I have sent it the other side. Therefore, we have got x as 4 minus 2y divided by 3. Here again, we have to choose the values of y in such a way that the final answer that we get in the numerator should be divisible by the denominator. Here the denominator is 3. So as you can see, I have selected minus 1. If you select minus 1, you can see the calculation here, 4 minus 2. In place of y, we have put minus 1 divided by 3. So if you solve the numerator, you will get 6. 6 is divisible by 3. So therefore, that is why we have selected minus 1. See, if you select 0, you will get, if suppose if you select 0, 4 minus 2 into y is 0, isn't it? So 2 zeros are 0. So what is the answer that you get in the numerator? You get it as 4. Is it divisible by 3? No. That is why we have not selected y as 0. Similarly, we have selected y as 2 because 2 2s are 4. 4 minus 4 is 0. 0 is divisible by any number. So that is there. The next step, we have selected y as minus 4. Okay. Now, how do we do this in exam? Very simple. Go in a proper order. That is, check for 0. If not, then 1. If not, minus 1. Then with 2, minus 2. If not, 3 and minus 3. If not, 4 and minus 4. This is how you keep checking, okay? So by which it is divisible. So same thing applies for the next equation. 2x minus 3y is equal to 7. So here again, both the coefficients of x and y are not 1. So let's solve for x itself. So minus 3y to the other side will become plus 3y. Transpose 2, it comes to the denominator. Even here, you have to select the value of y in such a way that the answer that you get in the numerator should be divisible by denominator. As you can see, I have selected, in the first step, I have selected y as 1 and minus 1. In the next step, I have selected y as 3. Okay. You can plot a graph for this. To plot the graph, what is the first step? Let's make the table, okay? Let's make the two table, and you can also see that I've given a few more questions as homework. Let me show that. Yeah, you can see these two questions, the third one and fourth one. You can take it as homework and solve it. Okay, so try to plot this graph. Okay, plot the graph of the second question which we discussed. Okay, and once you get the value of x, let me show the second question. Yeah, this is the second question. Once you get the value of x and y, you can verify it. Excuse me. You can verify it by substituting in the question itself. Okay. So plot the graph. It is very easy. Okay, students. So in the next video, we'll come up with a different concept on this chapter. Thank you, students.